Okay. So you talked about how after you got hired, you had to go through in order to get the CA. Can you tell us a bit
Yeah.
more about that? What it's like to study for that? What are the topics covered? And is it recognized just in the UK or is it recognized internationally?
Sure, yeah. So I did the ICAS qualification, the ICAS CA qualification. ICAS stands for the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Scotland. So that is the chartered accountancy body in Scotland. There's another one for England and Wales and Northern Ireland. And so, yeah, in terms of how the entire experience was, I think to sum it up in one word, it'll be challenging. It's a challenging process getting the chartered accountancy qualification, and I suppose the challenging aspect of it is balancing your study and your work. So how we did it was we had physical classes, so we actually went to college and had someone in front of us sort of going through the material. I know nowadays, I think a large proportion or most of it will be online classes. But in terms of the classes themselves, they were the key topics in the chartered accountancy qualification, if you break it down, are audit, tax. Then you've got what else have you got? Sort of finance as a very large topic itself, and that covers a range of different things, as you can imagine, investment theory, treasury department, what they got up to. Yeah, there's a wide variety of sort of topics within finance itself that they cover. And I suppose those are the three primary aspects. Within audit, you'll also have financial reporting. That might be a different group altogether, but within that, you'll have your all your regulations and all that kind of stuff, because you need to understand the financial regulation as well, being a chartered accountant. So those were the different sort of high level categories that were covered. And we, in terms of the classes, I think we went away for 2 or 3 weeks. So we went away from work to spend all that time in the classroom, 9 to 5 in the evening, going through all the material. And there's a lot of material to get through. So that's one of the big challenges doing this qualification. There's a lot of material, and they go through it at a very quick pace. And so you do your 9 to 5 in the classroom, but then you have to spend time in the evening going through that material again, because the speed at which they cover it, you're just not going to register it during the day. And again, you need to sort of go over the material again and again, so that it sort of gets ingrained in your mind. And then you've got tests, etc., in between, which you need to revise for. So it's an intense process. You spend most of your weekend as well then studying, and so that's where the challenge really lies. The material itself is sort of complicated to a certain extent, and again, this is, I think, very personal opinion. Some people find it incredibly easy. Some people, I know people that, for example, did law. They find it more challenging to get their head around the maths that's required. It's not complicated maths, but given that they might have not touched a calculator during the university period at all because they did law, they can find it challenging to sort of get used to that, doing some sort of simple maths very quickly. But again, there are people that have done it, so it certainly is possible. So yeah, again, overall, very challenging. So I remember I started in September 2015, and in December 2015, I had 6 exams that I had to do. So yeah, not a lot of time to fit in all that material. So yeah, that was challenging. That was a challenging period. But then, I think in terms of how in terms of how the ICAS is structured, you've got, I think it's 8 exams at the first stage, and then 4 exams second stage, and then 1 final very large case study in the third stage. And the very technical exams are in the second stage. So I think that's where a large proportion of individuals falter. Yeah, it's a challenging sort of process overall. But yeah, a lot of people do it. And I suppose one thing I'd say is, so I suppose like many things in life, the more time you spend preparing and doing the work, the easier you're going to make it for yourself to pass. So It's challenging, but it's certainly possible to pass it, and it's certainly rewarding as well at the end of it. So to answer your second question in terms of whether it's internationally recognized, the simple answer is yes, it is internationally recognized. One thing in terms of whether if you want to practice, if I wanted to practice, for example, now in America, it will be recognized, but what would be ideal would be to get that CPA qualification, which is the equivalent to the CA in the UK. And given the fact that I've got my CA now in the UK, I need to do, I think, just 1 or 2 more additional exams to get the CPA. So I don't need to start all the way from level 1. And so that's how it works across different countries. So if you get your CA in that geography, you need to do some additional exams to get the CA equivalent in another country. And so then you can start practicing in other countries as well. So overall, yeah, I don't have any intentions at the moment to work in another country, but if I did, then yeah, that's the road I'd go down.